Hello everyone, welcome to Module 7 of the Database Management Systems class. In this module, we will discuss database administration. Upon successful completion of this module, you will be able to explain the critical role a database plays in an organization, explain the critical importance of database administration, identify the role of the database administrator, explain the database administrator's responsibilities in formulating and enforcing database policies for access privileges, security, disaster planning, and archiving. Explain the database administrator's administrative responsibilities for database management system evaluation and selection, database management system maintenance, data dictionary management, and training. Explain the DBA's technical responsibilities for database design, testing, and performance tuning. The database approach of storing data has many benefits. However, the use of a database management system involves potential hazards, especially in a multi-user database. For example, concurrent update and security present potential problems. Just managing a database involves fundamental difficulties. For users to use a database effectively, they must be made aware of the database structure or the portion of the database they are allowed to access. Any changes made in the database structure must be communicated to all users along with information on how they will be affected by these changes. Backup and recovery must be carefully coordinated as well. To manage these problems and others, companies appoint a database administrator to manage the database and the use of the database management system, that is, to perform database administration tasks. In this module, emphasis will be laid on the role of the database administrator in a personal computer environment that is similar to that of BITS. The DBA's other administrative responsibilities for database management system evaluation and selection, database management system maintenance, data dictionary management, and training will also be discussed. The role of the database administrator. A DBA uses operating systems, specialized software, and computer programs to design, store, and organize data. In order to become a DBA, one has to acquire some education, qualifications, and skills. Education and qualifications. To become a DBA, you have to obtain a bachelor's degree in business, computer technology, information technology, or computer science, and have 2 to 4 years of experience in databases. The duties and responsibilities of a DBA vary greatly depending on the business or industry. A few of the duties of a DBA include design the database schema and create any necessary database objects, create a new database, plan for storage, install and configure software. The roles of a DBA often overlap. In large companies, the role may encompass many different roles, including data administrator, data architect, and Database Operations Manager. The DBA formulates database policies and enforces them. The policies cover areas such as access privilege, security, disaster planning, and archiving. Other database administrative functions include database management system evaluation and selection, DBMS maintenance, data dictionary management, and training. Database technical functions include database design, testing, and performance tuning. When it comes to granting and revoking access privileges, the DBA determines the access and privileges for all users and enters appropriate authorization rules in the Database Management System catalog. This is to ensure that users access the database only in ways to which they are entitled. The SQL grant statement defines access privileges. The revoke statement resigns privileges. The access privilege policy is documented by a DBA, approved by top-level management, and then communicated by the DBA to all users. Security is the prevention of unauthorized access, be it intentional or accidental, to a database. These types of access can cause damage to the data or compromise the integrity of the data in the database. To ensure that the database is secure, the DBA creates security policies and procedures, obtains management approval of policies and procedures, then distributes the policies and procedures to authorized users. The DBA uses the database management system's security features such as encryption, authentication, authorization, and views to implement and enforce security. A database can also be damaged through physical incidents such as hurricanes, software, hardware, computer malfunction, or a natural disaster. Disaster planning involves measures and mechanisms put in place to prevent or minimize the impact of a database managed from physical incidents. A discovery plan specifies the ongoing and emergency actions and procedures needed to ensure data availability if a disaster occurs. A disaster recovery plan must include plans for protecting an organization's data against hard drive failures and electrical power loss. An easy, secure, and scalable strategy for backing up data is cloud storage. Organizations usually use redundant array of inexpensive drives in which a database updates are replicated to multiple hard drives to protect against hard drive failures. Electrical power loss is protected by using an uninterruptible power supply, which is a power source such as a battery and a power generator. Another method of disaster planning is setting up backup sites with different levels of preparedness as at different remote locations. A hot site is a backup site that an organization can switch to in minutes or hours because the site is completely equipped with duplicate hardware, software, and data. A warm site is a backup site that is equipped with duplicate hardware and software, but not data. so it takes longer to start processing at this type of site. If data is continually kept in a database, the database will keep on growing, resulting in an expanded storage space occupied by the database. This may cause programs that access the database to take more time to carry out their functions. It is therefore a good practice to archive data from a database. The retention of data or archiving is also performed for legal reasons for data retention that may apply to many organizations, for auditing and financial requirements, and to comply with governmental laws and regulations. Examples of legal reasons for data retention that may apply to many organizations are the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, the Patriot Act of 2011, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. The DBA is responsible for ensuring that data processed by the database management system is retained in conformity to all laws. The data retained can be kept as data archive. A data archive, or simply archive, is a place where a record of certain corporate data is kept. A data archive is typically stored on mass storage devices. The DBA must also store copies of archives and database backups off-site. Other database administration functions. The DBA's responsibilities also include database management system evaluation and selection, DBMS maintenance, data dictionary management, and training. DBMS evaluation and selection. When a company decides to acquire a new database management system, the DBA prepares a checklist to be used to evaluate the DBMS. In case a data model had not been selected, the DBA will also have to add a choice of data model category to the checklist. Categories listed in the checklist will include data definition and restructuring, non-procedural and procedural languages, data dictionary, concurrent update, backup and recovery, security and integrity, replication and distributed databases, limitations, documentation and training, vendor support, performance, portability and cost, future plans, and other considerations. DBMS maintenance. After the organization selects and acquires the database management system, the DBA is primarily responsible for it. The DBA installs the database management system, makes any needed configuration changes, makes upgrades for new releases if required, resolves problems in the database management system, coordinates users with special one-time processing needs so that their needs are satisfied without affecting others. A runbook is a log of all database maintenance. Data dictionary management. The DBA also manages the data dictionary. The data dictionary is like a database catalog, but it often contains a wider range of information. The DBA establishes naming conventions for tables, fields, indexes. The DBA creates data definitions for tables, as well as for any data integrity rules and user views. The DBA also updates the contents of the data dictionary and creates and distributes reports from the data dictionary. Training. The DBA provides training in the use of the database management system and in how to access the database. The DBA also ensures training of technical staff responsible for developing and maintaining database applications. If training is provided by the vendor of the database management system, the DBA handles the scheduling of the training. Technical functions. The DBA is also responsible for the database design, testing, and performance tuning. Database design. The DBA establishes sound methodology for database design. After the database designers complete their information level design, the DBA does the physical level design. The DBA creates documentation standards for all the steps in the database design process. Additionally, the DBA reviews all changes to requirements and manages modifications to the database. Testing. The combination of hardware, software, and database for users is called production system or live system. The DBA grants access to the production system only to authorized users, except for troubleshooting a problem and addition of new or modified programs. To ensure that the production system or live system is protected, the DBA and programmers create a separate system called the test system or sandbox, which is used by programmers to develop new programs and modify existing programs. After new programs have been developed and tested in the test system, the DBA then transfers the programs to the production system. Performance tuning. Database performance deals with the ability of the production system to serve users in a timely and responsive manner. The DBA attempts to get the best performance within funding constraints. If an organization has no additional funds for its production system but needs further performance improvement, the DBA can change the database design to improve performance. And this, of course, is known as tuning. Performance tuning changes which the DBA can make include creating and deleting indexes, splitting tables, and changing table design. Denormalizing converts a table in third normal form to a table not in third normal form and leads to improved performance. For this week, you'll be required to read Chapter 8 of the textbook, that is pages 261 to 279, complete Quiz 7, complete Assignment 7, submit your final project progress report 2, take part in discussion 7. Please take note of the due dates and plan accordingly.